What's up? Welcome back to the DAP podcast. You see, we actually got a name this week.
That's a fact.
That's pretty cool, right?
That's a fact.
There we go. I'll go by the name of Just the Essence. Oh, my fault. I can't leave you out. Why did I give him that? That was a little bad, right? It had nothing to do with your complexion, bro. It's all love. Right? But no, all jokes aside, welcome back to the DAP podcast. I go by the name of Just the Essence, and I'll let my brothers introduce themselves.
My name is Gabi. Follow me on Instagram, Gabi Angel. See?
It's your boy Jerm, straight out of Queens. You know the vibes. Ain't nothing changed.
I forgot I was supposed to have more to that intro this week. I forgot. I got y'all next week. But today's episode, we want to talk about something that's it's popping up a whole lot. It has to do with artists expanding their career and doing more, finding new ways to have income come to them, maybe, or just expand their art. And it's NFTs. So we kind of want to start this from the bottom. What the hell is an NFT, bro?
So an NFT is a non-fungible token. It's basically any digital item that you can upload onto any platform you're using to sell your NFT.
Okay. So
that's the basic explanation of what an NFT is.
All right. So with the NFT, we see it all the time. It looks like just a JPEG. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you see this valuable in like the next 10 years, just this JPEG?
Because it's not just a JPEG, right? So an NFT can be either artwork, it can be music, it can be a video, it can be anything that you want that is digital. So again, what we call in our industry is a project. So an NFT project, there's gonna be some digital art that's what a project is. It's just digital art. Then you're gonna have some projects that actually come with community. They come with utility. Those type of projects are what we're gonna see in the next 5 to 10 years to actually have value, add value to society, and I think it's gonna be incredible.
So this isn't like a talking scam, because we've seen things come and go. People get attached to things, and then next thing you know, Instagram post ain't saying nothing about it.
So look, just like in every other space and industry in the world, there are gonna be scammers out there. There's gonna be a few things that you're gonna get into, or you might want to get into, and later on they're worthless. Right, but that's why you have to do your research, and that's why you should take courses, or you should do just every day as much as you can, inform yourself on everything that's out there, because obviously in every industry, every space, there's scammers. So you want to do as much research as possible to know what you're getting into. You want to make sure there's verified people in this space. There's a lot of things like there's docs, so people try to hide behind a lot of people don't like to reveal their identity, but when you have an NFT project where the people are actually revealing their identity, they're telling you their personal Instagrams, then you could believe in that, because they can't hide behind a fake image. Okay. Not everybody does that though, because in this community it's like kind of cool to have this hidden image. But again, if you're in a project where you see that people are showing you who they really are, like this is my real name, this is my Instagram, then believe it. Okay. That's not the only indicator, but there are also more indicators.
But it's important.
It's important to know who's really behind the projects.
Okay. So I think you mentioned a few things that I want you to elaborate more on. So it sounds like an NFT is a better way to give a product out.
In retrospect, it's a better way to give out a digital product, because we haven't touched base on it yet, but because it's authenticated through the blockchain network.
Okay. Briefly, what's the blockchain network?
So blockchain is basically transactions verified peer-to-peer. It's a bunch of computers where you're basically verifying a transaction actually happened. With Bitcoin itself, which is not really what's used for NFTs, but with Bitcoin, a transaction is usually verified 6 times before it's 100% verified that person A sent person B this amount on the transaction.
So it's legit, it's
100% legit. Companies like Walmart are using it to track their inventory, even to track if one of their workers had a 30-minute break.
Okay.
They're even using it in healthcare, where now if you're an American citizen and then you're gonna travel out the country, now you can have all your healthcare information on the blockchain, where I can just have it sent to me in the country that I am, everything from my birth certificate all the way to all my health records. So it should even improve the healthcare system.
Oh wow. Well, thank you for that. I really wanted to, I appreciate you sharing that knowledge too. I know sometimes
Definitely.
in our culture we have this tendency, because it comes from somebody who looks like us, we're trying to find each hole in it. Mm-hmm. And you're explaining it in a way, so truly appreciate that. But this platform Dapify is pretty much about artists creating community, which I heard you say, with their audience or being able to own your audience. So how would an NFT be good for a music entrepreneur?
So one of the big things in your industry, specifically in the Dapify industry, is engagement, right? You want to have an engagement with your fans, and obviously you guys doing a great job at that. But also an additional, besides, like, people be like, oh, just merch, but this can be an extra item besides merch. So when we speak about community, so if I'm a hip hop artist or just an artist in general, and
I'm one, so
and I want to engage my community, instead of simply just going and texting somebody or giving your phone out, do an NFT collection, where now through this NFT collection you have access to whether it's through Dapify or any other service, you have access to communicate with your favorite hip hop artist or your fan, vice versa, directly. So now, because you're a holder of the NFT, you have access to a community where you're interacting not only with the artist himself, but you're interacting with people who like the artist or in the same space as you, who are interested in a specific type of music, whether it's hip hop or it's indie or whatever genre you're into. So it's not just about interacting with the artist as well, but it's also about the community of, like, yo, we all like the same stuff.
Okay.
So that's why I think is very good. It's an extra thank you to your fans, but it could go past that. You could even, so now since people don't understand that in the NFT space, people who create NFTs, they usually get a royalty behind it.
Okay.
A royalty system.
So even, my fault to cut you off, but like, does this matter? Is it better that I made an NFT that was a picture of my album cover or the song? Like, so what?
It does not matter. Obviously, appealing art is gonna be fire. Like, the most appealing art doesn't matter what you do, as long as a suggestion, as long as it's appealing. But it can be anything. So a way also to engage your fans is, if you're collecting a royalty on all the aftermarket sales of this NFT, maybe give 2% out of that royalty to your fans. So now, not only you're making money on the back end, but they are as well. So that also gives them, like, yo, not only is this artist trying to engage with me, trying to build a community for me, or like my people like me, he's also giving me some PC. So forget about a music label, forget about a specific artist. This artist is not only giving me value by giving me a product, a volume of music that I love, but they're also trying to make me money. Think about that.
That's the utility part you're talking about.
Utility part also is, if you're an artist and you want to do a meet and greet, instead of taking fiat money, so US dollar, or taking money just on the platform, you could be like, okay, well, this NFT, we're selling this NFT, and this is gonna give you access to a meet and greet every year, once a year, right? Especially if you guys are gonna incorporate this in your platform, so there'll be ways for them to use the NFT for like utility like that.
Okay, so there's value in the actual meet and greet, not necessarily.
There's value. So the utility would be whether it's a meet and greet, whether it's you get to hang out, like 5 people, the 5 holders of this NFT can come and hang out in my studio while I'm creating music. That's the utility. Or
that's pretty dope.
I'm gonna have this exclusive music coming out only to the NFT holders.
Okay.
Not only are you cutting the middleman, you're cutting out the label, the record label, going direct to consumer, right? But you're also giving your fans something to be hype about. So it's like, it's a win-win situation for the artists. I don't know why any artists are not, like, literally, why are you not in this space?
All right, so here's something that I know. I've spoken to many artists about this, right? So some big artists have dropped NFTs and they've made millions in seconds, right? So an up-and-coming artist might not feel that way. Like, he doesn't have 7 million followers on Instagram, so who's gonna buy this NFT? So is that the right thinking or the wrong thinking? Like, what can we do to get more artists to see the value, even if they might have just 100 fans?
Something great about upcoming artists is that, hopefully, most of them are this way. Most of them actually care about their fans. So if you actually care about your fans, you much rather have 100 loyal fans listening to your music than 1,000 people who might not listen to it next month.
Yeah,
right?
true.
That's value, right?
Yeah.
So if I only have 100 people or 10 people gonna buy this NFT, but we're creating value to each other, because not only am I making money from you, but now we're engaging, and you can even add feedback onto what I'm doing, because we have this one-on-one connection now, because you're a holder of this
special project.
Okay. Why not?
Yeah.
For the artists who may be reluctant to get into the space, it's like, it doesn't matter if it's 5 people. Then make it the only 5 people who can listen to the song, or give them 2% publishing for them being in the room. Now you just made a special connection with people who will never forget this, and you think they're not gonna be a diehard fans until the day they die.
Yeah.
So it's much larger than just this is art or a picture that I'm uploading. You can make it whatever you want it to be, whether it's just a community, whether it's access to something, whether it's a utility. You can use this to if you guys ever have a recording studio, you guys ever get into that space, this is a membership to be. You don't have to pay for hours. You pay a yearly membership and you have access to a recording studio. You just have to take a time slot, but you have to hold this NFT. So it's so much value. It's so much that can be done. That's why it's so kind of like weird, or maybe like so kind of like not understandable to people, because it's so young and so new, and there's so much you can do, and there's not enough education out there because again it's so new. It's like when the internet first came out, everybody thought it was stupid. Everybody thought it was a fad. It was gonna go, and obviously with the .com crash,
same thing with hip hop. They thought it was going to go.
A .com crash, there was a lot of companies who went down, but the strong survived, right? And look where the internet is today. All these cryptos that started 10 years ago, nobody thought they were going to be ever worth anything. And Bitcoin is what, $58,000 right now? And it was $1 one time. You know what I'm saying? So there's value in this space. This is the future. This is technology. If a company like Facebook would go and change their name to get into this space, then you have to look at that. Business 101 is, if you have a brand that is recognized by everybody, you should never change the name of that brand. If they were willing to change the name of that brand and invest $10 billion into this industry,
something to pay attention to.
Why wouldn't we
definitely
do
pay
it?
attention.
Right? This is the future. The future is here now, and you're getting it in the ground floor. So if I could tell you, let's go in a time machine, guys, and let's go buy Bitcoin at $10, I'm pretty sure everybody in this room would go do it with me right now.
Facts. Where's Marty at?
Big facts.
This is it right now. This is the future is here now. Just do your research, do your due diligence, and just don't be scared. You know, don't be scared to get into this. This is technology. Technology is always going to beat human. So in 5 years, 10 years, or 100 years, we're not here. This is still gonna exist.
Yeah. No, it's leaving a stamp. So what I'm picking up here is it's less about the art, the actual piece of art. It could be because like, you know,
if a famous artist came into, like, let's say, you know, the Mona Lisa was gonna be sold as an NFT. Obviously, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something different. But it's more about what value, what we're gonna see in 5-10 years of what is valuable is, why is it valuable? What do I gain as a human being by owning this? See, back when art was just art, most people would be like, "Oh, that's stupid." But didn't a banana on a wall sell for like $10,000? So why this can't do that?
Facts.
You know, we're very skeptical in our community of things, and then 5 years later, we're like, "Damn, I should have gotten into that."
Right.
And that's all I hear.
every
in my
trip.
head. That's all I hear in our community is like, "Damn, why didn't I do that? Damn this," and then we're just gonna let life pass ourselves, and we're always gonna complain about how we don't have access to certain things, we don't have the information. But listen, in an era of information, being ignorant is a choice.
Yeah, now you gotta put in the work.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, even here right now, we're giving information that is valuable, information that you would have to pay people to get. So listen.
That's when we gotta give it that.
So listen, you know, you guys are doing something great with Dapify. You're giving access to a community that may feel like they don't have access to it, but it's there. And unfortunately, you know, maybe we've been kind of conditioned between slavery, between, you know, colonization, to kind of be like a crab in a barrel. But, you know, like, just, you got to get out that mindset.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about mindset.
We're all about furthering our people. You know, here you got a Haitian next to a Dominican who are both and another Haitian too.
And a Puerto Rican.
And a Puerto Rican. There's a lot going on at this party. But we're all trying to further the culture, bring this unity, because we are one. We all are the same.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, there's a word that we all would get called. But we're gonna stay where we're at, right? I want to ask you though, how do I get started? Like, cause you sold me on making an NFT. So like, how do I get started? And where do I tell people to go and get it? Another thing I want you to touch on too. Where's the value in me making a 1 of 1 or a 1 of 10 or maybe making 1,500 in the NFTs?
So first, the simplest way to get an NFT or to make one is going through the biggest secondary market, which is called OpenSea. You know, you're gonna need a wallet. You're gonna need a MetaMask wallet, preferably. Reason why I suggest MetaMask, guys, is because there's probably 1,001 YouTube tutorials of how to use it, so it's easier to use.
Okay.
You also, you know, you go OpenSea and you literally just create one. There's two different ways to do it. There's a way where you pay gas fees. This is just
I was just about to say there's two words that I need to hear: what minting is and what the gas fee is.
So gas fees is basically a transaction fee that Ethereum, the coin itself, because again, guys, most NFTs are backed by Ethereum. There's other cryptocurrencies. I'm not gonna get into that because we're gonna stay here for an hour.
Yeah.
But it's usually backed by Ethereum. So when Ethereum it has a gas fee, it's basically like when you go to the bank and withdraw money, some banks will give you a transaction fee. That's simple as that. Minting is when it's like fresh out the box. So it wouldn't be you creating it. It would be the person who's minting it, the one person who's buying it. But if you're doing through OpenSea, it's technically already minted. It's complicated. You would have to ask me that on the side, guys, because you know it's a different conversation when you're doing it straight on OpenSea yourself.
Okay.
Because to do it the way that we in the industry do it, you need to have some coding experience. But just to simplify, simply just put one off. You know, you go to OpenSea. You have your MetaMask wallet. Whether you want to do it with gas fees or not, you can do it the option where you don't. That they do it for free. Whoever buys it have to pay the gas fee.
And again, real quick, one sentence: the gas fee is
just a transaction fee for the transaction you're completing.
Okay,
and so you're basically paying the network to verify this information for you, authenticate it.
Okay,
so and remember blockchain?
Yep.
You're paying the network a little fee for them doing the work for you.
Got you. To pretty much create the log.
Yes, to create the ledger, the public ledger.
Got you.
Blockchain.
Got you. And minting in one sentence, or to get it minted
is basically fresh out the box. So if you was to buy an NFT and you're minting it, you're the first person to buy the NFT straight from the creator.
Okay. All right. So now we that's happened.
So now we're the creator. We want to create just one off. We will just go on OpenSea. And me personally, I do it where I don't pay gas fees. I just upload it, and when whoever wants to buy from me, we'll pay the gas fees and everything. That's pretty much that simple. Now, if you want to do a collection, you would need coding experience as of right now. This space is getting innovative every other month, so you never know. In maybe 6 months, you won't have to have any coding experience. They'll do it for you. But to do a collection, so that's anything more than one. If you want to do a straight up collection, just shoot it into OpenSea. You need to have coding experience. I have a team of coders, and they do that for me. But you know, you can also do your research, guys. Believe me, there's 1,000 videos on coding. You know, and it's very, very important skill. You can actually make just 6 figures a year with that skill. But on the complicated side of a collection, you need coding experience. When you ask me,
coding on the corner,
what's the difference between a one-off and a collection, which is more than one? There's actually more value in collection because of a liquidity issue, right? If it's a one-off, why is that one of one so important? That's going back to the digital art conversation where you would only see a one-off kind of on just digital art, right? When you're talking about utility and community, you're going to want to see a collection, because if only one person owns it, then it's not a community. If 10,000 people own it, it's a community.
Yeah.
It's exclusive.
It's still exclusive, but it's exclusive to 10,000 people. If it's exclusive to one person, you know, it's only about, again, it's going back to how much is someone willing to pay for it, or how much interest, because it's just one.
Yeah.
Like, what's the possibility that everybody wants this one? But if you have 10,000, you already see that everybody wants a 10,000. You know, you see value in it, just like anything else in this world.
Okay, that's pretty dope. So now, again, we just did this. We made our 1 of 100 of whatever we're about to do, because I am going to do this. I'm going to be tapping it. Real quick, if you could tell us again how we go about it, but then after it's here in existence, how would I tell you to go get it?
Okay, so me personally, it's just like any other product. You want to actually market it before you put it out to the market, because it just doesn't make sense to just throw out a product and it's out and be like, okay, I got this. Just, you would much rather be like, hey guys, I'm going to be doing this product in the next 30 days, you know, and see if there's a hype there, and build a community with a little chat, do a little chat, you know, whether it's through, I would want to use Dapify, obviously, but if you build a community through Dapify and you do it that way. So then you build a community there. You chopping it up with everybody. Okay, guys, in 2 weeks we launch. You're building a hype, right? You're building a community. So now there's more people interested. So that's how I would go about it. To tell them how to buy it. So technically, if you're doing it the 100% correct way, where you really know everything you're doing coding, you would have your own website where people would mint the NFT on your website, and then the platform you'll be using for them to see the NFT and for them to sell it on the secondhand market would be OpenSea, and that's through coding. If you didn't have any coding experience, just wanted to do it on OpenSea, you can do that as well. It just wouldn't be as sophisticated. It doesn't need to be, guys. When you first start off, you don't have to be so cute and sexy or nice and whatever. You can start off slow. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, if you want to do it the right way, it's through you create your own website and you code it to where it's supposed to be a smart contract. Where this is why you're using Ethereum, where you're
real quick, smart contract. That's another one. What's a smart
contract? Is basically the blockchain, metadata, and coding all together in one. And in that smart contract, I can do anything. I can say there's a 10% back end fee you gotta give me. I could put that this only exists. It's just metadata. It's a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't explain to the average person in 5 minutes because it's just, listen, it's too much. So that's just, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Research.
Do your research.
Metadata. If you want smart contract, metadata, blockchain, all together in one. Babies. That's a baby.
Awesome.
Okay.
So you told us how to get it, how to start it, how to do it, how to service it to our fans, how to market it even. How do you know all of this stuff? Like why I know why I'm listening to you. He knows why. But everybody else, like, give us a little bit about your background, like how you even know any of this stuff.
So I'm an average kid from the Bronx. You know, I'm a man now.
Man, it's over.
I'm a man now, but I'm an average kid from the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know, I did everything that you could think of. I saw how when I was younger, my friends would be getting free stuff by buying this crypto. I didn't even know what crypto was then. Buying this crypto out of an ATM, and I got curious. I'm like, what the hell is that? It's Bitcoin. Okay, cool. So as the years passed and I started using Bitcoin in my everyday life, I was like, yo, let me invest in this, right? So I got into crypto very early. I got into Bitcoin around 2015, 2016. And then I learned how to day trade Bitcoin, right? So when I learned how to day trade Bitcoin, that's why I don't have Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin at this time in my life, which I would have been super rich. But, you know, that's what got me into Bitcoin itself. You know, through my experiences in life, I really learned, you know, in the streets, you only get it the fast way, and that's as fast as it comes, as fast as it goes. And there's only two routes you're gonna go. You're gonna be dead or in jail. And I just made a choice in my life where I was gonna double down in this finance space, and not only try to make a future for myself, but educate my community. I have an educational platform that I have out, and I'm also building. And again, I still have better prices than so many other people in the competition, because I feel like the access to information is extremely important. I don't want anyone to ever tell me, yo, I'm a person of colors, I don't have access to information. Well, you do now. You have me. I even went as far as to this knowledge that I'm giving to you guys right now. You know, some of my classes are a little bit on the expensive end because, you know, I value my worth. But I did a crash course on NFTs for only $50. You know, if you can't afford $50, hit me up. That's fine. But again, most people can afford $50.
Yeah.
So, you know, I marketed it as a crash course, but it was really more like an intro. So something that was worth probably $300, I offered it for about 30 days for $50 on a Zoom class. And I marketed it for 30 minutes, and I actually went on for an hour and a half every time. So, you know, the access information is there, guys. You know, we're just trying to give back to the community. Obviously, we're putting a worth on ourselves as well.
Did you want to dap there?
But you know, we're here to help. We're here to educate our community. That was the background on me. Like I just wanted to educate my community, but also double down on this space. You know,
because you see how I can really leverage where we're at financially. Oh, that's dope.
At the end of the day, it's about building generational wealth.
Of course,
generational wealth in our community. They said that the dollar doesn't last more than a couple hours in a community of color. So that speaks for itself. Why do we all rent and we don't own? Speaks for itself. Unfortunately, at least for people of color, we through certain processes and we weren't allowed to own at a certain point. But what's our excuse now?
Yeah, it's your choice. I forgot exactly how you worded it before.
Everything in life is a choice. Yes, we may start on that line way behind the rest, but we have choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen people grow up in my neighborhood who went on to Harvard. So you're gonna tell me that
from the Bronx?
Yes.
I'm playing.
You're gonna tell me that him and Tito from down the block who went to jail.
I love the Bronx. That's the birthplace of
You're gonna
hip-hop.
tell me that him and Tito who went to jail didn't have the same choices?
Absolutely.
They had the same environment, the same choices every day.
Yeah.
It's all a choice. Unfortunately, some of us kind of got pushed into certain choices a little bit more than others, but it's all choice. And you just gotta wake up, look in the mirror, and say, "Yo, today's the day I change." And you gotta be the change you want to see in the world. So we don't see ourselves as a community, as people empowered, as people who are gonna push each other to build generational wealth. Why would anyone else? Why are we so focused on asking someone else to look us and see us for who we are, or to put money into our community? Why don't we just do it ourselves? That's one thing that I really focus on, is that instead of asking why us, or why there's no money, let's build it. Let's do it ourselves.
Yeah.
You get hit, you get knocked down on the floor once, okay, get back up. We beat poverty, we beat the odds, we beat jail, we beat racism. Why can't we beat this?
Yeah.
We beat COVID. A lot of us beat COVID, right?
Yeah. I'm from a place that we beat the oppressors in 1804. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. All jokes aside, though, you're a leader. You're a light to this world. Thank you for shining bright with us here and educating. God knows how many people are going to see this. And thank you. I really...
I hope everybody gets a little bit of it. You guys want to follow me on Instagram?
Yeah, I was going to say, drop all your links, where they can find you and sign up for your course.
My Instagram is Gabi Angel C. That's my personal, GABI Angel C. You'll find some good content there. I always post in my daily investments. I do options trading. I do long-term investing, NFTs, and crypto. And then my educational platform, Instagram and website, is RFF Academy. The Instagram is RFF Academy Inc. And that's Road to Financial Freedom Academy. So you guys need any help, we're more than happy to help. We have financial plans. We have everything you could think of. Free game, always getting posted on the social as well.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much.
Dope. Thank you, bro.
Again,
thank you to Dapify, man. You guys got to get me on that platform as well.
Absolutely.
Don't worry. As soon as we hit the stop button, it's going down. Yo, I truly appreciate you again. You really dropped a lot of gems on us. And really tap in with him, follow him, stay up to date with us at Dapify. We found out that NFTs are definitely a real thing. It's something you could dap on. It's not cap. Don't get left behind. I think that's the simplest way to end it, right?
That's a fact.
Again, I go by the name of Just the Essence.
It's your boy Jerm.
I got to get an outro too, but love y'all to the next time. I really do.
Cheers.
Going up, you watching us take off. Yeah, that's all right.